When the rain taps on your window and the night grows darker than usual, ancient secrets begin to whisper through the wind. You're about to hear one of those stories that were never meant to be told. But since you're already here, stay till the end. Subscribe if you dare, and turn on notifications. The next story might just be about you. It was a breezy Saturday morning, and despite the rain clouds gathering in the distance, the day held promise. Emily was busy selecting clothes for a weekend getaway with her longtime boyfriend, Jake. She could hardly believe they were finally taking a mini vacation. Emily worked as a fact-checker for the Chronicle-Tribune, while Jake served as a features editor. After weeks buried under work, the couple had earned this break. Emily had meticulously planned the weekend, determined to make it up to Jake for her recent distance. "Nothing will go wrong this time," she told herself while folding clothes into her backpack. "Babe, have you seen the green-collared shirt you gave me for my birthday?" "Thought I might wear it this weekend," Jake called from the hallway. Jake, tall and lanky with a face full of freckles he'd always been self-conscious about, walked in to find Emily mid-pack. "Still in the dryer, I think. Please don't wear that. I bought it on impulse, and you look like a giant praying mantis in it. Wear this instead. You look great in black," she said, handing him a turtleneck. "Fine, but I'm bringing it anyway. I love that shirt. Think we can leave before lunch?" "I want brunch at that Italian place on Maple Drive," Jake replied, pulling the turtleneck over his head. "Yeah, should be fine. Grab me some socks. I'll call Rosewood Manor Inn and confirm our reservation. Brunch sounds perfect. I'm starving." By 10, the couple had packed up the old station wagon Jake had inherited from a college roommate and were locking up their apartment. "Let's go! Rosewood Manor Inn, here we come!" Emily cheered, sliding into the passenger seat. Jake's car sputtered to life on the third try. "These rain clouds look nasty. I hope we won't have to drive through a storm. This car is one puddle away from retirement," Jake muttered. "We're going to Vermont. Come hell or high water," Emily declared. Jake kissed her cheek, touched by her fierce determination to make the weekend perfect. They stopped at Jake's favorite Italian diner on Maple Drive. It was nearly full, and they ended up seated at the counter. After ordering, Jake pulled out a state map. "If we take Morgan Road straight through Willow Creek Bend, we'll hit the interstate before nightfall. Avoids traffic," he explained, tracing the route. "We'll miss the sunset at Rosewood Manor," Emily sighed. "It's supposed to be magical." "Sunsets are sunsets, but making it to the inn today is top priority." As Jake finished his thought, the barman, a weathered Italian-American named Frank, paused, leaned in, and said, "Don't take Willow Creek Bend. Dangerous stretch, especially for couples." "What did you say?" Jake asked. "The Mad Axe Man of the Bend, a tale this town knows well. Happened decades ago. Man named Charles married a young woman, Laura. Big age gap. He worked as a lumberjack and was often gone. People gossiped that Laura was cheating. Word got back to Charles. One day he took her for a drive, pulled over at Willow Creek Bend, confronted her, lost it, pulled an axe from the back seat and, well, he killed her. A patrol car happened by. They saw her body, Charles standing over it with the axe. Ordered him to drop it. he attacked them. They shot him down on the spot. Since then, strange things happen at the bend. People see lights, hear screams. Couples who pass through sometimes vanish. Emily, a skeptic by trade, thanked Frank politely but dismissed it. "We're reporters. Ghost stories are fun, but not facts." "Just don't say I didn't warn you," Frank replied. Back in the car, Jake joked about the ghost. "If we see him, I'll wave as we pass." They hit the road again. Rain threatened but held off. Emily dozed off and dreamed of a misty road and Jake, drenched in blood, holding an axe, whispering, "Where were you, Emily?" She woke with a start. "You okay?" Jake asked. "We're past Morgan Road, almost to the interstate." She lied and said she was worried about the car, not her nightmare. The rain began, heavier now. Visibility dropped. Jake drove cautiously. Then Emily spoke. "Let's pull over. Wait it out." Jake nodded and tried to slow, but the road was slick. The station wagon skidded and slid down a muddy embankment, stopping at the bottom. The couple sat in silence, shaken. Jake assessed the damage. "Engine's okay, but we're buried in mud. I'll try to get help. Check your phone." No signal. Jake left to find help, warning Emily to stay inside, lock the doors, and not open them for anyone but him. Emily waited. Then she heard it. A distant shriek. Then a rhythmic bump. She tried calling the police again and finally got through. Then she saw it. Jake's body hanging from a tree branch. Mud-covered, throat nearly severed, body swinging like a pendulum. Bump, bump, bump. Frozen, Emily stared in disbelief. Then she saw a light, approaching, glowing. "Miss, step out of the car," said a voice. She stepped into the light, asking, "Have you seen a tall man? Black turtleneck? My boyfriend, Jake?" No reply. Then she saw it. The glowing figure of a large man, Charles. His ghostly form bright, but the axe he held was solid. Blood and mud dripped from its blade. He stared at her. "You cheated, Laura. You'll pay." Emily backed away. The spirit approached. The last thing she heard was the distant wail of police sirens. Too late. The Challenger Deep is the deepest point on our planet. 6.8 miles beneath the surface we walk on, it is almost entirely devoid of life. A true wonder of the Earth, a staggering fragment of its geography. Until recently, most scientists believed the Challenger Deep to be the lowest place on Earth. Keyword: recently. I work for NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, as a deep-sea submersible pilot. I've conducted countless dives and seen endless marvels. It's a breathtaking job, and I can't imagine ever quitting. If there is anywhere one can truly feel nature in its rawest form, it's the ocean. But the ocean's vastness is terrifying. We are sluggish in the water, and when an endless darkness gapes below you, it's hard not to picture some titanic sea predator rising to crush you in its jaws. Still, Our research knows no bounds, and about a month ago, my team made a monumental discovery. Tectonic plate shifts revealed something below the Challenger Deep, a completely unexplored and unknown region of our planet. The team was ecstatic, and we proposed a press release immediately. Unfortunately, leadership decided to wait. After some talks with NOAA headquarters, they ordered us to run an expedition first, find out what lies below, and only then make it public. I didn't like it, but I understood. The headline would hit harder if we actually found something. As one of the most experienced pilots, I was assigned to lead the mission. It would be a solo dive. In the words of my supervisor, "This will change our understanding of the ocean forever." After extensive preparations, protocols, and bureaucracy, my submersible, which I named Apollo, hovered over the water. I sat with my feet aimed directly at the chasm to this newly discovered deeper layer of Earth's crust. Apollo was reinforced to the maximum. High-grade armor, premium titanium plating. It was a beauty, and I often felt I didn't deserve to pilot it. Then, with one sharp motion, I was lowered into the sea. The descent wasn't remarkable. I saw many creatures, large and small, but nothing unfamiliar, except the sperm whale that passed above me and nearly stopped my heart. Roughly 3 hours in, I reached the Challenger Deep. Honestly, I was nervous. Despite my deep-sea resume, I'd never been this far. It was empty, not a spark of life, save for bacteria. If loneliness had a definition, it would be this: darkness, cold, and desolation. That anything could survive here seemed absurd. "Move forward." The intercom came alive, snapping me from my trance. I had forgotten my mission, mesmerized by the solemn emptiness. I obeyed, lifting Apollo slightly. Then I saw it. A massive rift in the sea floor, stretching for miles, as wide as a school bus. On our scans, it had seemed far smaller. Whatever we picked up earlier, the rift had expanded. I reported this, and my supervisor was just as alarmed. "Maybe another shift. Maybe," he muttered, clearly uncertain. "I'm going in," I said, voice trembling. "Go ahead. Good luck, son." And I entered what would become the deepest point known to humanity. The first 20 meters were unremarkable, rock and sediment. Then came the darkness. The rift walls vanished. I checked the sonar and my mouth dropped. I was inside a massive cavern nearly a mile in diameter. Speechless, my thoughts swirled where words failed. My imagination spun horrors. What could live here? Was it dangerous? Would I die? I reported to HQ, and they were equally stunned. "Are you sure you're seeing this?" "Yes." Apollo had top-tier radar, silent until now due to the utter lifelessness at this depth. Suddenly it lit up. To my horror and awe, 5 large signals were moving toward me. I struggled to stay calm, breathing rapidly in a futile attempt to stave off panic. Nothing that size should exist at this depth. Images of monsters and predators filled my mind. In my panic, I hadn't noticed HQ trying to reach me. I activated the line. Why did you stop? What is it? There are 5 somethings. They're approaching, sir. I don't know what they are. Are you serious? How big? I looked. 5 seconds to contact. Not gigantic, but big for this depth. Around 7 to 9 feet. About 8 foot. Then a violent hit struck Apollo. Not a puncture, more like something crashed into it. I turned the 3D cameras toward the impact zone. I glimpsed a tail, chitinous and shaped like a spade, disappearing into the dark. Another jolt, now from above. Whatever it was strong. Not enough to break titanium, but enough to shove the sub. I checked the cameras again and saw legs. Insect-like, thick, spiked. Gone again into shadow. Then a strike hit directly against the cockpit. I wet myself in fear. No need for cameras this time. A creature stared right at me through the viewport. It was a living fossil. A massive, yellowish, prehistoric creature hovered, eye locked on mine. A eurypterid, known to paleontologists as a sea scorpion. I was paralyzed. Sea scorpions had gone extinct over 250 million years ago during the Permian-Triassic extinction. Yet, here it was. It seemed to be studying me, curious. Then others swam into view. Juveniles clung to the backs of larger ones, watching. I began snapping photos and sent them to HQ. Excitement burst through the comms. Incredible! Do you see anything else? Not yet, but I'll report. I returned to gazing. The scorpions stared back. Suddenly they cleared a path, and a larger, older individual approached. Apollo had mechanical arms, meant for sampling. The elder rubbed its armored head against one, then turned to reveal a large parasite embedded in it. It wanted me to remove it. The arms weren't made for surgery, but the parasite was big. Maybe I could grasp it. I carefully positioned the manipulators. It felt like playing a crane game with my life on the line. Finally, I latched on. With a firm pull, the parasite came off. The scorpion recoiled, shook its head, then, seemingly delighted, spun like a happy puppy. It tapped Apollo gently, then descended into the dark. The others followed. Still reeling, I continued downward, pride swelling in my chest. I reported everything. HQ was thrilled. They greenlit a deeper dive. The sonar lit up again. Something massive approached, 60 feet long. I used to scoff at tales of megalodons in the trench. Now, I wasn't so sure. It moved slowly, barely at all. I contacted HQ. They advised approach. As I neared, sound hit me. A deep, resonant cry. Like a whale call, but louder, lower. Lights revealed the creature. Compared to it, humans are specks. We may be apex predators on land, but not here. It was huge, bone-plated, with a head that looked armored. A lead sichthys, another ancient fish, long thought extinct. It ignored me, passing by with one slow glance. I took photos, sent them up, more cheers. Then it vanished. They allowed me to descend further. but moments later I reached the bottom. It was unlike the Challenger Deep, gray, soft, scarred like ancient stone. And it pulsed. Not rock, not sediment. Something alive. The radar filled with a single massive signature. The floor was a living creature. And I had awakened it. Panicked, I tried contacting HQ. Nothing. Comms were dead. I tried to ascend. Apollo wouldn't move. Suddenly the comms crackled to life, but not with my supervisor's voice. A deep, reverberating growl. No, stay. I froze. Terror and disbelief flooded my mind. Was it talking to me? Who are you? I asked, trembling. I am not a who. Even if I were, it would not matter. My mind raced. How did it know English? How could it speak? Why are you here? How did you find this place? I told the truth. I'm an ocean researcher. Tectonic shifts revealed a path. I was sent to explore. It paused. I felt its thoughts. Did you come to harm or to heal? I remembered the sea scorpion. I helped one. Removed a parasite. Another pause. Thank you. Its tone calmed me. I asked, what is this place? It took its time. Long ago, before your kind existed, creatures of different eras came here to survive. Eurypterids, as you call them, could not endure your world. I brought them here, gave them strength. Others followed. I am the guardian. Speechless, I realized this was a god of the abyss. You do not belong here, it said. I froze. It continued. You and your team mean well, but others do not. They destroy ecosystems. Creatures have told me. I will close this rift. You must not return. Tell no one of me. Take only what you have seen. I nodded. It was right. I understand. It roared. A deafening, city-shaking roar. As I began my ascent, one last question escaped me. How did you get here? Silence. Then, some secrets are meant to stay buried. And I rose. Back on the surface, my team overwhelmed me with questions. The rift had closed. I will never forget what I saw. The photos of living fossils made headlines worldwide. But if another rift opens, and we find something like that again, I won't be the one going in because I still don't know what that was, and I don't want to. The story is over, but silence doesn't always mean peace. Sometimes the scariest part begins when you think it's all behind you. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment what story you'd like to hear next. And remember, fear isn't just a feeling. Sometimes it stares back at you from the darkness.